You know, I'm going to hold consistent on Quinn Hughes just like I'm going to hold consistent on Connor McDavid. I do believe Quinn Hughes will re-sign with the Vancouver Canucks, not only because I do think the Canucks are going to rebound to a degree, and what I mean by rebound is that I think that they're going to make the playoffs. I think they're going to be relatively competitive this year. Maybe I got egg on my face on that one, but I just think that Quinn Hughes wants to win. But there's another way that the Vancouver Canucks have a leg up when it comes to contracts. We're going to be talking about trade rumors, contracts to start off, and why that relates back to the Canucks and how that will probably benefit the Canucks as well. But guys, welcome back to Pixel Plus Hockey. If you could make sure to hit that subscribe button, it would be so greatly appreciated. And as well, thank you so much to those that are already supporting me. It is obviously very, very humbling. So now that the new CBA has been announced, by the way, guys, teams have to be cap compliant by the playoffs. So you can no longer be over the cap at all in the next year's 2026 playoffs. This is excellent news. I don't want to go too much off track here, but that is just fantastic news in general. But here we have a very interesting quote that I found. In the new CBA, players can only sign a maximum of 7 years. The 7-year contracts are only eligible for players signing extensions who were on the roster as the previous trade deadline, while 6-year deals are available to free agents. As the old CBA, the same rules applied except that extensions could be 8-year deals, while free agents could use 7-year contracts, close quote. So again, we want to be looking to the fact that there's going to be a massive benefit for the Vancouver Canucks being able to sign Quinn Hughes longer, but there's only going to be a very short window for this that the Canucks have to take advantage of. Because Quinn Hughes, as of July 1st, 2026, will be able to sign an extension with the Vancouver Canucks, so you're going to have about a year before he becomes an actual free agent. And honestly, just to talk about Quinn Hughes' contract right now, it is such an excellent contract. He's getting $7.85 million per year. Like, he has really outperformed that contract. But again, this is another really interesting quote I found. According to Frank Cervelli, Vancouver will have less than 3 months to sign Hughes to an 8-year extension. In a recent post, Cervelli wrote, players will have until September 15th, 2026 to sign deals with the current structure, term signing bonus, and variability. All deals signed after September 16th, 2026 will be subject to the new CBA, close quote. So a lot of boring stuff there. I don't really think it's that boring in my opinion, though, because this is a huge thing for Vancouver. If they can get the extra year, they can get him to obviously, get a lot more money. Another year, let's say he signs for, I don't know, $10.5 million or something, just throwing a number out there. That's a lot more money that player is going to be getting. Now, let's keep this in mind too, that it's not only that. Let's say it comes down to that they might even trade Quinn Hughes. Let's just say that's a possibility for just 2 seconds. They can, at that point in that window of time, say, listen, let's say we want to trade you to New Jersey, whatever team it happens to be. You can use that as a ploy, saying, hey, listen, let's get the Canucks a lot. We can still get you in a sign and trade deal on an 8-year deal to whatever team you're choosing. And that would kind of put the screws to Quinn Hughes. I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but either way, it can work out for them within that 2.5-month window. That's going to be very, very important for the Vancouver Canucks. And I'm telling you right now, the Vancouver Canucks absolutely need to use this to their advantage. They need to use anything to their advantage to get more assets back into the organization, because if they don't, I'm telling you, this rebuild, if they do have to go through any retool or rebuild, hopefully they don't have to, of course, but it's going to make it longer, especially when a guy leaves and you don't get any assets back for him. All in all, though, that doesn't matter. I still think that Quinn Hughes is going to re-sign with the Vancouver Canucks. I think it makes the most logical sense, so I'm just going to leave it at that for now. To shift gears to more trade rumors and center rumors around the Vancouver Canucks, we do know that Patrick Alvin talked about, his belief in Filip Chytil and how he believes that Filip Chytil is going to be a good player for them. I like Filip Chytil. I really, really don't like his health scares, his concussion scares. He worries me with that. I really think that they need to do something, even if it isn't right now. Try to do something within the season. Might make a lot more sense for the franchise. A lot of analysts do believe that the McTavish, if he does get traded, will be going to the Eastern Conference. You might see the Montreal Canadiens being an option there, but right now we are looking at the Vancouver Canucks as being the most likely in the West to attain, according to an insider. Let's check out this quote. In a recent article for Sports Illustrated, Jacob Puntari believes that the Vancouver Canucks are the team to watch out for in the Western Conference when it comes to Mason McTavish, adding that would be a good fit for both the player and the club, slotting easily in as a 2C behind Elias Pettersson, close quote. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to push back a little bit on this being behind Elias Pettersson. If you followed this channel for a while, you know how high I am on McTavish. I think he's actually really quite good. And I'm not saying that I'm low on Elias Pettersson. Like, I think he's better, much better than he was last year. However, if Elias Pettersson, God forbid, has a season like he did last year, we're looking at a situation where he might even be the top center. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think that's that unrealistic, if you understand what I mean. And here we have an interesting quote from the insider. I foresee McTavish heading to the Eastern Conference in a potential trade, but the Canucks are the team in the West to watch. Like the other teams on that list, they need a reliable and productive second-line center, and McTavish would be a tidy solution in Vancouver, close quote. And let's be clear right now, the Vancouver Canucks are, last year anyway, they were not a good offensive team. Now, again, you can point to one of their top players just not producing, or perhaps Brock Besser not having the same season that he did the year before. There's fluctuations in shooting percentage. I think that they can still score, but they were about 24th in the National Hockey League in goals last season, so we're going to be looking for them to be hopefully a lot better. I'm sorry, you cannot make the playoffs if you are that. If you score that little. You need to score way more than that. Now, apparently the asking price for Mason McTavish has been extremely high. That's been the rumors around, that it's just been like really, really high. For me, I would be willing to pay that simply because he is a solidified center, and he is a solidified top six center, and he has a bit of grit, he has a bit of side, he's a proper center. I would be willing to probably pay a lot of assets. It depends on what they're willing to add into that. Like, would you be willing to give up like a Victor Mancini or something like that? I'm not really sure. I mean, a first round selection, but then again, you would have to top 10 protect it, because obviously they're not going to give up their first round selection in the McKenna draft, if you understand what I mean. Hell no. Like I've always said, when it comes to first round selections next year, for teams that I think that they might miss the playoffs, like I even talk about the Habs, like I think the Habs are going to make the playoffs. I think that Vancouver is going to have a better season. I don't even think that their division is really that good, so I think that they could be better. You absolutely must top 10 protect that pick, especially in this draft, because even if you don't get Gavin McKenna, the top 5 and even top 10 of next year's draft is full of a bunch of absolute bangers. Like, these guys are no joke at all. But anyways, guys, I'm going to leave this video here. If you could make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it, guys. And make sure to have a great day. Goodbye, guys.